everybody. Thank you, SAFETY4SEA Limassol for having me here. My name is Marinos Kokkinis. I'm the Managing Director of OneCare Group, a company that supports crew well-being and learning and development. I will start my presentation today sharing some industry data and which are a bit alarming. These data are from some studies that they were done by ITF Seafarer Trust and Yale University back in 2019, and also from BMC Public Health, which is a scientific journal, back in 2022. I will also link this data to some recent trends that we see in the industry from, let's say, the happiness index, some surveys from marine benefits, and also some data from our service lines. Before we go and look into this, I would like to relay a lot to what Mr. George from CYMEPA said earlier. I joined as well, let's say, the maritime industry in my early 20s. I spent 8 years on board. Of course, I was in the cruise industry, not in the merchant shipping. But at the time, let's say, the necessity, the call for adventure, a bit of, let's say, passion, romance was always there. What I'm going to share with you today, and the statistics, let's say, we're going to see today, it also relates to my heart from my times at sea, apart from my day-to-day work that we are involved in this industry. So, looking at these numbers, you can see, let's say, that 25% of our seafarers, they suffer from depression, 17% from anxiety, 20% they have suicidal ideation, and 66% they have psychological stress. These are some areas related to the mental health, and on the right side of the slide, you're going to see as well some medical statistics pertaining to hypertension, pertaining to common disorders, etc. The numbers are a bit alarming, and again, everything relates to where the industry is going, what is the future, what is the seafarer profession will look like, will it be sustainable? Can we make it sustainable? And I believe, let's say, all these areas are addressed in every single panel. Either it's SAFETY4SEA or Capital Link or Crew Connect. Every year we're highlighting the need. There are, let's say, organizations that they are taking some steps, but we need as well some support from the industry, from the ILO, changing, let's say, from the IMO, changing the regulations, let's say. What about working hours? Let's say what we see here, all these statistics, they have a trigger for call for action. Either this relates to the welfare, access, let's say, connectivity, social, food, nutrition, burnout, you name it. There are a lot of, let's say, flags here. And if we go and look at why we have this decline and the key takeaways, we see that there is, let's say, a need to improve on all these areas. We have isolation, we have connectivity issues, we have fatigue, social impact, health and fitness, training concerns, etc. These are some stats of the last quarter of Q4 2024. Similarly, Marine Benefits has run a study highlighting that 63% of the seafarers consider attention to health and well-being as an important factor in deciding whether they will continue their careers at sea. So the numbers, let's say, are there, and the statistics are there. The question is, what do we do with these numbers? What companies do? What the industry is doing? The slide in front of you is some statistics from our services, and I will highlight a few areas here. Out of the cases, let's say, that we have assisted in the medical side of things, providing medical support to the vessels, we can see around 12.5% usage, which this indicates the need, let's say, to provide support to the vessels through telemedical support. Similarly, we see the need and the usage on the mental health side. We're looking at about 4% usage. So when we provide solutions to the crew, they use them. Now, if we go further and we analyze the data, these are data as well from our last quarter in 2024. We can highlight here the statistics and highlight what are the mental health aspects, let's say, driving these engagements, driving this need, and what are the medical cases on board. And we can see, let's say, high levels of anxiety, psychoeducation, which is related, let's say, to the awareness and guidance to seafarers about, and their families as well, about the mental health illness, family matters, depression, etc. In parallel, if we look at, let's say, the medical cases, again, we see issues with musculoskeletal, derma, infection, dental, etc. Some of these areas are areas that they can be addressed with different strategies, let's say, pre-boating, and we will look at them in the next slides. So, considering the statistics, there are some emerging trends and areas of concern. What I'm highlighting here is what we believe are some, let's say, call to action pertaining from proactive mental health support, empowered leadership and trust building, gender diversity, bridging generation gaps, digital wellness and inclusion, combating non-communicable diseases, safe work environments, and also I would like to highlight here the minimum safe manning. All these are linked, let's say, to the data. All these as well are linked to the latest MLC amendments in December 2024, urging us to take action. On the next slide, we're highlighting some of the areas that they can form, let's say, strategy to implementation. This is broken down into two: pre-employment and on board, from psychological assessment to PME quality assurance programs, addressing, let's say, any concerns, abnormalities, etc., in order, let's say, to prevent any cases before going on board, or introducing health programs while on board and supporting the crew members in the areas of medical, mental, etc. Programs like the Well at Sea, that they foster sustainable, life-changing aspects relate to mental resiliency, physical health, and socialization. And last but not least, let's say, the access through the 24/7 medical and mental health lines. What we are suggesting for a sustainable, let's say, a future is a holistic approach towards the health and well-being, by integrating the health and mental well-being into, let's say, the strategy of the organization. We want a healthier workforce, and we want to achieve operational efficiency, higher retention rates, and safer working environments. That's all from my side. 1 minute earlier.